After Iran launched a massive missile barrage against Israel, striking multiple cities and military installations, the United States responded within hours. American cruise missiles hit an Iranian naval vessel in the Persian Gulf, sending it to the bottom. Follow-up strikes targeted oil storage facilities along the Iranian coastline. Fuel tanks erupted in fireballs visible for miles. Alongside the strikes, a full combat mobilization order was issued across all branches. Every available unit received the signal to move to combat readiness immediately. On the airfield, the response is already visible. 2 CH-53 Sea Stallion heavy-lift helicopters sit on the flight line with their rotors turning. Ground crew stands clear of the rotor wash. In the ready room, the helicopter pilots go through their gear. They pull on their flight suits, strap into their survival vests, check their sidearms, and put on their helmets. Near the helicopters, Marines are already assembled in 2 groups, one for each aircraft. They carry full combat loads: body armor, helmets, rifles, magazines, grenades, radios, water, rations. On command, the first group begins boarding the lead CH-53 through the side personnel door. At the same airfield, a CH-47 Chinook is being loaded with a different mission. Marines file in through the rear ramp, taking their seats in the cargo hold. Underneath the helicopter, ground crew attaches an artillery piece to the external cargo sling, a towed howitzer that the Chinook will carry suspended beneath the fuselage. The rigging is checked, the load is secure, and the helicopter lifts off with the gun hanging below. It flies low over the terrain toward a military camp. On approach, the Chinook descends and the crew chief guides the pilots down until the howitzer touches ground. The sling is released and the gun sits on the dirt. The helicopter moves to a nearby landing spot, sets down, and the Marines walk off the ramp. They immediately move to the artillery piece, unpack the ammunition that came with them, and begin setting up the firing position. Trails spread, spades dug in, sights mounted, rounds stacked and ready. As evening approaches, 2 more helicopters arrive at a separate forward position carrying additional Marines. The aircraft land in an open area. Flat ground, no structures, no cover. The Marines exit and spread out. It is getting dark fast. There are no tents, no shelters, no facilities at this location. This is a raw position in the field. The Marines establish a defensive perimeter, set up crew-served weapons at key points covering the most likely approach routes, and assign watch rotations. Some dig shallow fighting positions. Others lay out their gear on the ground. Sleeping bags, ponchos, ammunition laid out within arm's reach. They eat cold rations and drink water from canteens. The temperature drops. They settle in for a night on the open ground with nothing overhead but sky. Through the night, helicopters make multiple supply runs to the position. They come in blacked out, using night vision to navigate. Each flight brings in more equipment. Crates of ammunition are offloaded, additional anti-tank weapons, mortar tubes and rounds, cases of radio batteries, medical supplies. On one of the later flights, lightweight tactical buggies are rolled off the rear ramp of a Chinook. The vehicles are driven off the helicopter and moved to concealed positions under camouflage netting. Communications specialists set up satellite antennas and establish contact with the command post. By the time the sun starts to come up, the position has gone from an empty patch of ground to a functioning forward operating base with vehicles, weapons, supplies, and comms.
I would prefer mine, but y'all are the
At first light, the Marines begin moving out from the camp. They split into squads and head toward their assigned sectors. The first task is reconnaissance. Teams move through the terrain slowly and deliberately, observing the landscape, identifying natural cover, marking ridge lines and dead ground that could conceal enemy movement. They map out fields of fire and potential ambush positions. Everything is recorded and reported back to the command element at the camp. Sniper teams move to elevated positions overlooking the surrounding area. They unpack their rifles, set up bipods, and lay out their equipment: spotting scopes, rangefinders, wind meters, logbooks. One man behind the rifle, one behind the spotting scope. They begin methodical observation of the terrain, scanning sector by sector, noting distances to landmarks, identifying potential targets, logging any movement they see. The infantry squads begin running through combat drills. They practice bounding movement across open ground. One fire team moves while the other provides cover, then they switch. They rehearse building and room clearing procedures. Stack up on the door, breach, enter, clear corners, call out threats.
Let me know last lap.
They practice moving through low terrain using wadis and ditches to stay hidden from observation. Every movement is done at a crouch or crawl. Speed and silence are the priority. The squad leaders watch each run-through, correct mistakes, and make them do it again. The drills repeat over and over until every man moves without hesitation, without noise, and without exposing himself to the open. Fire teams practice immediate action drills. What to do when they take fire from the front, the flank, or an ambush. They rehearse casualty evacuation procedures, how to drag a wounded man to cover while maintaining return fire. Machine gun teams set up their weapons, identify primary and alternate firing positions, and practice displacing between them under simulated pressure.
Clear. Give me one more. I got top side. Clear. Ready, move. I got right side door. Split. Split. Five man, green, green.
Pick it up, Shay, fire it out.
Let's go, hurry up! Fire! Shelter!
Guys, watch it.
Hold it! Fire move!
Bring out!
Bring out!
Shift left! Shift left!
Wrath, push further!
Yeah, right.
Here, take him out.
Once the training exercises are finished, the Marines pull back to the camp. Weapons are cleaned, equipment is checked, positions are maintained. They wait for the real order to come. When the combat alert sounds, they will already know exactly what to do.